Hello and welcome along to the latest instalment of the YouTube features we have here at andyholdingspeedfigures.co.uk. And in this section, we're going to take a look back at all the action at Aintree with a look back at the overall times and some of the sectionals as well in comparison to others on the same card. We begin with day one, and the pick of the times was Clandezobo on the chase track, a very solid 75, which is up there with some of the better ones at Cheltenham, just slightly behind the likes of Manila Indo and Co in the Gold Cup. If you recall, that race was an 81 on our time figures, but Clandezobo is very much back to his best, and he looks in line for another good season next season when they stick to flat tracks. Protectorat was also quite good in the first race. He clocked a 70, which is anything over 70 is pretty good, particularly for a novice, and reverting to hold-up tactics certainly worked the oracle with Dan Skelton's charge. On the hurdle track, it was a bit of a dead heat between Mon Miriel and Abracadabras with regards to overall time figures. Edging it just slightly was Abracadabra, but I did notice at the final circuit of 2 minutes 21 from the path going away from the stands to the winning line, both of them ran exactly the same time figure. So you'd have to say that the juvenile is certainly above average, and it was no disgrace, therefore, for Adagio to get beaten by Paul Nicholls' charge, having made a bad mistake at the last. Looking forward, I think Mon Miral is going to make a lovely chaser for next season with maybe something like the Arkle on the agenda. On to day two, and pick of the time figures on the hurdle track was the first race, Tronador. They had a good gallop in that 2.5 mile handicap, and they played it to the strengths of Denise Foster's charge, who enjoyed the ground and bounced back to his very best form after a slightly below par run on his first run of the season. But as we saw once again, the Irish handicappers very much came to the fore. The best of the English long term might well turn out to be Solwara 1, who I thought did his prospects or long term prospects no harm with a very encouraging run in seventh. He was a little bit keen early on, made a few mistakes here, there, and everywhere in his first handicap, and he got there going quite easily 2 out, only for his exertions to take the toll late on the running. But he's a very nice horse, Solwara on. If you look at the size of him as well, he did really well to handle the tight turns of Aintree, and I think he'll be good when they send him novice chasing next season. Chantry House was the pick of the chases on that card. He ran to a 72, which is in line with what he did at Cheltenham. His final circuit time was also much better than Fakir Dudaris. So you'd certainly expect Chantry House to be a potent force in races between 2.5 miles and 3 miles next season. Maybe something like the King George might just suit him, because he appears, although he's won at Cheltenham, to be just as equal on a flat track as well. On to the final day, and My Drogo was the best of the action on the hurdles track. Another very solid time by Dan Skelton's charge, a 73 on our time figures, which is not a million miles away from the Supreme Novices, of course, appreciates it, which was a 76. Similar to his overall time, his final lap time was very good. It was 2 seconds quicker than Time Hill and Co in the 3 mile race. He's got a good cruising speed, good attitude, handles pretty much every ground, and he also, along with Monmoral, will go novice chasing next season. And I think they'll probably be looking at the Arkle and working their way back from that race. So he's a horse to look forward to next season. Over fences, Shiskin once again was the star on show. Another fantastic time by Nicky Henderson's charge. 79, which is right up there with his time in the Arkle, 78 in the Arkle. And his final circuit time was 8.1 seconds quicker than the other handicap won by Happy Go Lucky. Now, obviously, that was 2 miles compared to 3 miles, but that's still a fair distance of ground. Just shows you how good he was on the day and how good Finnambul Sivola did trying to keep up with him in the latter stage. And he thoroughly deserves his new rating of 156. A little closing line on the Grand National, 78 by Manila Times, proving that was a very strongly run and well-run Grand National start to finish. That was courtesy of the pace set by Jet, of course, at the start. And Manila Times, first time he raced beyond 3 miles, stayed the trip and some. So he's going to be an interesting contender in some of the better races next season. Who knows, we might see him again in the 2022 Grand National. Probably will mention as well for any second now who got badly hampered on at least a couple of occasions. And I'm sure he'll be back in another 12 months' time in a bid to go 2 places better. And the final race on the card was a very good ride by Meg Nichols on Nappers Hill. And that also clocked a very good time, 64, which is above average for bumpers. And his final circuit time was 4.2 seconds quicker than my Drogo. So in coming from last to first, he obviously has got a fair engine. Okay, thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll have more of these previews as time goes on. We'll probably have a look at doing the Punchy Sound Festival. That's our next instalment, which is in a few more weeks' time, where we'll digest and dissect all the action taking place at the County Kildare venue. So until then, I'm signing off for now, and I look forward to having your company the next time we do another preview. Bye for now.